Hey guys, Lindsay here for day 19 of the 30 days of YouTube challenge. Today we're talking all about your very first in-home party. So I started my business and I booked parties, but I booked them for several weeks out. So in other words, I signed up in the end of October and I booked parties for like weeks and weeks out because I felt like I needed to learn everything, I needed to know everything, I needed to do some practice, I planned on having an open house, like I had all these great laid plans so that I would really be a pro by the time that I started. Well, because God has a sense of humor, I got a party lead on like a Wednesday for a party that needed to happen on Friday. It was a gal's birthday party, and the other consultant had either backed out or flaked out. I don't know what happened, but I got the lead, I followed up, and I said, yeah, I'm excited to book your party. When would you like it? She's like, Friday. So, okay, I'll be there on Friday. Yay. So I was really kind of thrown into doing parties. I had, again, I kind of booked it out. I thought, I had some time. No, I had like 36 hours to get ready for this party. And so I went and I set everything up, and there was like 15 or 20 women there, and they were all excited to see me. And I walked in like I, was a pro at this or whatever. And I did a horrible party. It was horrible. I wasn't funny. They didn't laugh. I was starting to panic. It was horrible. Horrible. We tried playing games. They thought they were really lame. One lady actually said she would sit one out. It was horrible. This was a girl's 30th birthday party, and I was panicking thinking that, I was horrible. So I remember I did the party, I went to the orders, all that kind of good stuff, and I remember calling my husband and crying the entire way home. And he said, he was like, well, honey, how did you do sales-wise? And I was like, well, they did order $800 worth of stuff. Moral of the story, even when you think you're terrible, you're not always that terrible. Okay, so the one gal that sat out, I ended up talking to these people afterwards and stuff like that, and I did kind of apologize to the lady and say, I'm sorry if your party was a bust. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, it didn't seem like you guys were having a lot of fun. She goes, no, we were just really tuned into what you were saying. No, we thought it was great. We all had a great time. And I said, well, the one girl that sat out, she's like, her? Are you kidding me? She is always a pain. She sits out of everything. I was surprised she even showed up. So, again, moral to the story was that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, I remember I dropped things. Like, I just thought it was complete and total disaster. And they still bought, $800 and something from me. And when I talked to them later, they thought I was great. So, don't feel like you have to wait until you know everything. Don't feel like you have to wait until you're perfect, because nobody's going to be perfect. Just get out there and do it. And I think that being my first party and me thinking it was so horrible, but it still being very, very successful. And the thing is, they rebooked. They actually booked parties from that party. So, it wasn't, I must have not been so bad. I think I was just being my own, my own worst critic or whatever. But that was my first and worst, as far as my performance, worst party ever. Bye.